Are you going to click away on this one? Because here's an interesting thing. You see, what keeps you watching this video is the idea that I'm about to explain something to you. Because I've jumped straight into this video, immediately grabbing your attention. Therefore, you're led to believe that I have something important I'm about to explain. Whether you feel that you're emotionally invested yet or not, you're at least compelled to find out what you've been waiting for until now. Well, that's exactly what I've done. And the point I'm making here is exactly what I just did. I grabbed your attention, and most importantly, kept you engaged. Now, keeping someone engaged in your video requires a few different tricks to actually keep them wanting to watch your video and actually be emotionally invested in it. It's by using these tricks that you can almost forget that time is passing, and before you know it, you're nearly a minute into the video. So what's the first step in keeping someone on your video? Well, in order to keep them, you actually have to grab their attention in the first place, and that's exactly what I done at the beginning of this video. I grabbed your attention with a hook. So what is a hook? Well, it's usually placed at the beginning of your video. It can take various forms, such as a surprising fact or a crazy statement, something that grabs someone's attention. In this case, I used a rhetorical question.
A what?
The purpose of the hook is to basically evoke an emotional reaction in the viewer. You're creating a sense of curiosity, fear, desire, intrigue, shock, or suspense. Whatever's applicable to your video, you apply at the very beginning, and it makes them want to keep watching.
That is sick.
And you do this so that there is that obvious emotional reaction at the beginning, and it makes them want to know more and stay on your video. They're essential for keeping viewers because they provide a reason for the audience to continue watching, especially now amongst the seemingly endless streams of content people are watching every single day of their lives. It becomes ever more challenging to try and capture people's attention.
I'm sorry, what?
Therefore, a well-crafted hook can capture someone's attention and make them want to invest their time and energy into your content. Once the audience is hooked, you can then deliver your message or story in a compelling and meaningful way, ensuring that they are engaged until you lead them on to the next point. And as well as capturing attention, hooks are also there to be able to help you build a strong connection between you and your audience. A well-crafted hook can also establish trust, empathy, and reliability between you and the viewer.
Trust me, as you once did.
Making the audience much more receptive to your message or story. But on to my next point, which I just mentioned in leading on from the hook, is how to keep someone engaged after you've hooked them. This is kind of where, as a creator, you're basically weaving a path through your video to help maintain the audience's attention. Thanks to social media and short-form content, attention spans have become virtually non-existent, for better or for worse. And although YouTube isn't necessarily a social media platform, it's as close to our attention as those platforms are. So you need to work really hard in order to keep the viewers engaged and focused on your content. And arguably, attention spans are the most important here on YouTube, because they directly impact your watch time, which directly impacts how many people see your videos, which is then the leading factor in your revenue.
North of $500,000.
And one of the biggest problems facing YouTubers is people leaving after the intro. It's so common for people to stop watching after 5 to 30 seconds. For most viewers, if the video is too long or it's not getting to a satisfying point quick enough, then they're likely going to click away and move on to the next video. Therefore, you need a great hook at the start of your video. Then, to maintain attention, you have to know how to pivot slightly, which leads me on to my next point: pattern interruptions. This refers to the technique that disrupts the expected flow of the video, and its main purpose is to recapture your attention. It's an incredibly effective method for increasing your attention and your overall watch time, because it's a bit of a surprise, because it comes out of nowhere. But in a great way. They exist as a way to re-hook us and capture our attention again so we can keep watching for that little bit longer. By interrupting the viewer's attention, you can keep the audience on their toes and create a sense of anticipation for what's coming next. A primary example used across social media and especially on YouTube is the use of additional footage such as photos or stock footage. This is known in the video as B-roll.
We ready? We rolling?
Take, for instance, a continuous shot like this that features a person talking to the camera about a specific subject, but then it suddenly cuts to B-roll, in this case stock footage, of what the person is talking about, or maybe just random stuff in this case.
You got that right.
This pattern interruption rehooks the viewer as it provides them with new content to consume, therefore reducing the odds of them clicking off the video. By interrupting the expected flow of the video, you can recapture the viewer's attention and create anticipation for what's to come next, and ultimately lead to increased engagement and watch time. Now, in order to be able to include pattern interruptions in your video, you need a plot for your video in the first place.
Pretty good idea, huh?
And a great plot requires one simple thing to keep people emotionally invested in your video: a compelling story. Stories are as old as time itself, whether it's a play, a film or a show, even in advertising. It taps into the fundamental human desire for narrative and connection. Stories are a great way for you to engage with the viewer on an emotional level, creating a sense of investment and connection which keeps the viewer engaged for longer periods. By telling a compelling story, creators can transport the viewer into another world, immersing them in the content and creating an emotional bond that, in this case, leads to increased watch time. Great storytelling also provides coherence and structure to the content, making it easier for the viewer to follow along and stay engaged. A well-crafted story consists of a clear beginning, middle, and an end, with a series of events which build up to a satisfying conclusion. This structure provides a roadmap for the viewer, keeping them engaged as they follow along with the narrative and anticipate what happens next. Storytelling can also help you stand out on YouTube. By telling a unique and compelling story, you can stand out against the millions of videos being uploaded every single day. You can capture the viewer's attention and create a memorable experience which will help you stand out from everyone else. This creates an emotional investment, not only in your videos but in you as a creator. Connecting to the audience on a personal level allows you to stand out from everyone else, so that whenever you upload a video, people feel compelled to watch your videos for you. So after you've taken all of these points into account, we're just left with laying the foundations for you to implement them in your videos. A great video is just a great story, with a beginning, middle, and end, and a compelling narrative. Within your video, you have pattern interruptions to recapture the viewer's attention so they don't get bored and click away. This is with the use of B-roll to help explain your point and using various storytelling methods to explain your story. Like my second point I mentioned, it's crucial in understanding the length of attention spans so that you can structure your video and edit it in a way to maintain the audience's attention and stop people from clicking away. And finally, going back to my first point I made, which is about how to actually grab someone's attention in the first place, that is with a great hook. People are emotional beings after all, so we are naturally drawn to things that we want to find out more about. Things that create a sense of curiosity or desire or shock. Anything that evokes an emotional reaction. So to sum it all up into 3 concise points, a hook grabs someone's attention and keeps them watching. 2 is to tell a compelling story which creates an emotional investment in the viewer, which is finally wrapped up by number 3, which is to use pattern interruptions to recapture people's attention, providing new information and keep them wanting more. Anyway, that's about it. I hope you can take these notes away and start getting the highest watch times you've ever had on your videos so that people keep watching until the end. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it, then please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date on the latest YouTube tips and tricks. Also, if you're looking for further support with your channel, whether it's increasing watch time or any other part of your channel, then definitely check out the link below, where we help monetize creators go from where they are now to creating a long-term, successful, sustainable YouTube channel. But there we go. Thanks very much for watching. Again, hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to know more about how to grow your channel, then definitely check out the links below and in the suggested videos. But otherwise, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.